Hi everybody, Ms. Fortuneberry here back in her art studio. Today we are going to draw a letter squirrel. So it's fall and I'm in all my fills of the beautiful leaves and pumpkin spice. Wish it was a little cooler here in Texas, but we are going to enjoy this little fun drawing. Let's get started. The first thing I want you to do is draw a line at the bottom of your paper. This is your horizon line. So I'm gonna draw just a little wavy line all the way to the sides of my paper. See how it goes all the way across? And then I am going to draw a letter P in the middle of my paper, and I want it to be tall. So I'm gonna draw a line up, and then I'm going to draw a curve, like a backward C. So now I have the letter P. This is gonna be your squirrel's head. Now I'm gonna turn this into a letter B. Whoa, or yours might look a little bit more like an R. So you should have a letter B or a letter R now with that big round belly. He is full. He's been eating a lot of acorns, right? So now I am going to draw the squirrel's face. You might have an open eye, you might have a closed eye. This little squirrel is just happy and content. So I'm gonna draw a curved line. You could even draw eyelashes if you wanted to. If you want, you could draw an open eye. And then a little nose. This is the side of our squirrel's face, so you can only see one eye. And then a little mouth, so you could just do a curved line like that. You could add some little teeth, maybe give it some little cheeks. Look how cute that is. And he needs some little ears, so it's gonna look like the letter M. So we're gonna do a curved line and another curved line, and there we have like a little letter M. Inside his ears, we're gonna do a curve and a curve. That's the inside of his or her ears. And then we're gonna draw some cute little paws. We have one sneaking out over here. It's just like a backward C, a little curve and two lines. And then another one over here on the side of its body. He's ready to catch the fall leaves. How cute is he already? Now, what are we missing? That's right, the tail. We need a big bushy tail. So at the bottom, back here, we're gonna do a line up and go around, and we're gonna swirl. Look at that swirl. Can you do a swirly line? Now we need to close it off. So we're gonna just add the other side of his tail. Wow, and we have a squirrel. Look how cute our little squirrel is. Now that my squirrel is drawn, I am gonna do something fun. I'm gonna add some texture to the background. So all around the squirrel and on the ground, I'm gonna use this little texture plate, and it has leaves on it. Look how pretty that is. I'm gonna put that underneath my paper and put my paper on top of it. And then I'm gonna get a little crayon without any paper. I'm gonna choose brown. You wanna choose a fall color. Brown is a great fall color, the color of the season. And I'm gonna lay it down on my paper like it's taking a nap. And I'm gonna pinch it between my fingers, and I'm going to rub. So this is frottage. That's a ooh la la, a fancy word. Can you say frottage? Can you see my design showing up? So I'm just rubbing, I'm laying it on the paper, on its side, and I'm coloring and rubbing all of the background. And I had to move it around because my texture plate is smaller than my paper. Here we go, do the whole paper. And here we have our frottage. So we did a texture rub on our background with all the pretty fall leaves. And I'm gonna do it a little bit different. On here I did green grass and a blue sky. I am gonna paint, I want it really bright and fall-like, so I'm gonna use orange paint. So I have some watercolor paint. I'm gonna dip my paintbrush in it, and look how drippy it is. I don't wanna sit here and do this and splatter my table. I'm going to just touch it on the inside of my bowl so it's not dripping. And I'm going to paint around my squirrel around my squirrel like so. Look at that, I'm painting my whole background. You could paint your background first, or you could paint your squirrel brown first, because we are gonna paint our squirrel brown. But when I paint, I'm painting softly. My paintbrush has soft little hairs, and so I don't wanna damage them. I want them nice and soft and pretty. So just like a ballerina, I'm painting on its tippy toes. I'm not pressing really hard. I'm painting softly, and I'm painting all the way to my edges. All the edges. So I'm gonna paint my whole paper, but not my squirrel orange. There we go. And I'm all done. So you wanna make sure that you spread your paint out. Don't leave a bunch of big puddles, just a little bit at a time, and spread it out. Get all those little white spots. Now I'm ready to paint my little squirrel. So I want to make sure my little squirrel's tooth stays white. So I need to color it in with a white crayon. Very carefully. Staying inside the lines. Oop, it turned blue a little bit. That's okay, maybe he was eating blueberries. I am going to paint my squirrel. You want just a little bit of paint on the tip of your brush. This is just watered down tempera paint. And you want just a little bit of paint, and very carefully, I'm holding it like a pencil. And I'm painting on my little tippy toes of my paintbrush. Softly and gently, going around the edges and painting it in. And look, I ran out of paint. Should I press really hard? No, I'm gonna dip it back in my paint and make sure some of the paint goes back into the bowl. And softly paint my little squirrel. Ooh, do you see that big puddle? I'm not gonna leave that puddle there. I'm gonna spread it out and paint the rest of my tail with it. So don't leave any puddles. Be very, look how slow I'm painting. So take your time and paint slowly. My little fall squirrel is painted. Now the only thing we're missing is our fall leaves. So I'm going to take my little leaf-shaped sponge and I'm gonna dip it in my paint. We don't want too much on there. And I'm gonna stamp the ground because all the leaves have fallen to the ground. I'm gonna put just a few little leaves on the ground. Nice and carefully, like they've fallen on the ground. And maybe there's still a few falling in the sky. So maybe a couple up here and falling down here. And then I'm gonna do, I have a little one here, so I'm gonna do my little one. So you might have different shaped leaf sponges. It's up to you. And I'm just gonna stamp a few here and there. Am I stamping a millions in the sky? No, just a few here and there. Maybe there's some overlapping. And my fall squirrel is done. Look how cute he is. You might even take the little bitty one. Maybe he caught a leaf. It's a little bitty one there. Look how cute he is. Okay, I hope you have fun making your letter squirrel. Bye, everybody.